I just wanted to show you that I don't always know what I'm doing on these things, and that sometimes you just end up making a bit of a mistake. And the idea is, how do you fix it? So this looks fine, I'm sure, to you folks out there in YouTube land. But as you can tell, I ended up putting the melamine bottom in before I sprayed the varathane on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up taping, excuse me, taping this off so that I don't spray varathane on the melamine. But it also makes it more difficult to sand. And I ended up making this about 1/4 of an inch too wide. So this is about 1/4 of an inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch too wide to do what I need to do in the closet, in the pantry. So I'm going to have to modify the pantry door to get this thing to fit. So this was the first one I built as a sort of test case. Realized it was too big, so the rest of the drawers are now the right size, so they will slide in and out of the pantry appropriately. So, and just for you all to know that it doesn't always go as planned. It might look fine, but it doesn't necessarily do what I was hoping. And this is the one that has the wheels on the bottom, and I used, again, an old piece of melamine that I had from a countertop, so you can see that it's not melamine on the bottom. Those are the wheels that will roll on the floor. And this is the shelf that's going to, again, roll on the floor. And the reason I wanted to do that is because this is the one that's going to have all the heavy appliances in it. We put the mixer and some of the other heavy things in there. And then when we need it, we'll just pull it out, get the appliance so we can use it, and then put it back. It means that we don't have big heavy appliances on a shelf that has a pull-out, a drawer slide. It would work, but this is probably better. And so that was the idea, was that eventually I ended up getting casters for this. As you can see, they're one-way casters. They don't rotate. They only go one direction. So the idea is this will roll in and out of the pantry, but not necessarily side to side. It'll move a little bit, but it should stay fairly parallel to what goes in and out. So it's not a perfect solution, but it was the best I could come up with in the context of what I needed to do. All right, so that's it. I've got this sanded. I'm going to tape it and take it out and spray it. Okay, we are now installing, and so far so good. They seem to be working as promised. Drawers seem to be going in and out. Slides are good. You can see the brackets back there. And you can see the side looks like a shelf that it's hanging off of, this is what I was hoping for. It's turned out the install is a little more complicated than I had planned on, and a couple of things to be mindful of if you go ahead and do this is that I have the soft close on these, but the drawer ends up hitting in the back. You can hear it thump. It hits back here before the soft close is done. So what I should have done is made the drawers not as deep. I was being very greedy and wanted to have as much shelf space as I could. So what I'll end up doing is putting a little soft bumper back there so that when it closes it doesn't have that thump on the wall like that. I think that'll be a pretty decent fix. But the other trick here is that you're trying to get these. In this case, I had to take the door stop off. You can see the normal stop on a door is right there. And I had to take that off because I made the drawers too wide. I thought I had them all measured, but I've forgotten to take into account that the slide itself has to come out with the drawer, so that's what I missed. So if you're doing this, don't be so greedy as me. The other thing is the brackets on the inside. I think I showed you these before I started putting the shelves in. You can see the brackets are there, and I'm hoping those are going to be solid enough when the drawer has a full load on it. It doesn't rotate down, because drawer slides want to be parallel. Oops, get my hand here right. They want to be parallel, and if the shelf itself starts to droop like this, that means the drawer slides will be cocked and they won't work well. So we'll find out after we get them all loaded up with the pantry stuff. The other trick I had to do was these are pretty darn heavy. I didn't weigh them, but it's really hard to hold them out and get the drawer slides engaged to push them in. So what I ended up doing was being creative with household goodies. So here's a chair, a stool, and this funky thing that are just about the right height so that I could put the drawer on top of this, and then my much better half helped me out to guide the chair in and stabilize the drawer as I was sliding the drawer slides in. And it's a bit challenging. So for those of you that aren't into doing this kind of thing, you could become frustrated. So that one came together nicely. Again, remember that when you're doing drawer slides, they not only have to be exactly the right width, but they have to be as parallel as possible. And I'm getting the drawers pretty level, but they have to be as parallel as possible this way, and the drawer has to be parallel across. So you want those two brackets to be equally parallel to each other. So it's a lot of tricky kind of pushing together, but so far so good. I'll have the next two drawers in pretty quickly. I would film me doing it, but there's a lot of muttering and mumbling as I'm doing it, and it's probably not very entertaining, so I'll go ahead and do this without showing you my struggles to get it in there. All right. Well, after much grunting and groaning and installing and reinstalling, there are all the shelves in place. The one on the bottom rolls on the ground, and that'll have the heavy appliances on it. This one's a little wider. These are all spaced pretty much the same. They may not look like it here from this angle, but they are. So, and they all pull out pretty nicely. I would like it if the soft close pulled them in a little better. Still have to push it all the way in, but at least it keeps it from hitting the wall. So, they feel good and sturdy. So I'll put the door on and show you what that looks like. Okay, here we go. The door is back on, and I've added a little wire rack there that was there before. I'm probably going to put two more down here. New doorknob, and everything closes up nicely. I take that back. That hits in there. Okay, well, there you go. My bad. Not going to be able to hang that up there. So I'll have to take that wire rack off of there. I might be able to put it down where there's a bigger gap in those two. So I'll have to space that out. Anyhow, getting there. Okay, there they are, fully installed. You can see the shelves all the way down there. Things are all along there. There's those wire things I was talking about, and they now fit. So when I close the door, everything closes. So it's all good. Canned goods, you can see. These pull out. You can see all our junk food in there too. So, and there's appliances down at the bottom there, as you can see. So that is one install completed. If you all choose to do this on your own, I wish you the best, and have fun doing some woodworking and fixing the house up. Signing off.